Well, good morning, and welcome to our family business, and welcome to the West Hill. I am Greg Aidala, the independent candidate for mayor of Albany. Beautiful morning, and I've called you all here today to tell you about my plan to end violence, restore safety, and create an environment that attracts businesses and residents and gives families, especially our children, hope for a better life. And my plan absolutely puts families ahead of felons. The reason that I'm here, just to give a quick backstory, is 3 years ago I started covering the violence on the West Hill, especially on our block, after the first murder of that year occurred, again 2018, in front of our business. Since then I've been documenting it with video series. All throughout last year, 2020, I continued that. What got me to this point to get into the race was a quote that I read in the Albany Times-Union August 9th of 2020, when the Albany mayor said about the violence that many victims weren't intended targets, but rather in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong person who was being targeted for whatever reason. I took that as a very indifferent and dangerous statement to all residents in the city of Albany. I definitely want to make Albany the safest small city in America. To do so, we will first adopt a zero tolerance policy toward all crimes and violations. We'll start with broken windows policing, which is proven to work. We will address the quality of life crimes, from littering to noise violations to double parking, and all of the seemingly insignificant issues that in aggregate make the city unlivable. Second, we will empower the community and the police. Sorry, that was a B. We will empower the community and the police to work together to stomp out crime. Our residents, I can assure you, want police in the neighborhoods. We'd like to bring back beat cops. We need to instill that trust between the community and the police force. We need to stop sowing division between the public and law enforcement, and together stop criminals who prey on the vulnerable. We also want to encourage our city's youth to pursue careers as first responders to actually serve their neighbors. And I can speak more on that because we used to have beat cops up until about 4 years ago that were constant. They have gone now because the city police department is depleted nearly 80 policemen, which is sad. Third, I want to create an anonymous tip line focused on the city with cash rewards for tips that lead to the arrest of criminals. And fourth, I will ensure that the Albany Police Department is properly funded and staffed. We must retain existing officers. We're down here. 80 officers have retired or transferred and are not being replaced. And I can say that the current mayor does a great job of demoralizing the police and doesn't truly have their back, from what I've seen in print, on TV, and what I've heard from friends that are on the force. We also, we must recruit, train, and retain the most diverse municipal police force in New York. Diversity and inclusiveness fosters trust and builds relationships. A recent class from the Albany Police Academy saw 7 of its 15 graduates immediately leave for other agencies. We cannot keep our streets safe if we cannot fill the APD's ranks. The loss of these graduates cost the city of Albany approximately $100,000, and Kathy Sheehan has no plan or has made no effort to recoup these costs that are allowed by law. I have found that this mayor has no real solutions to support the police or any solution to curb the crime. I find that she's only recently denounced the senseless violence, and that's possibly, and my guess, is because it is close to election. Fifth, we must support our police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of being scapegoated by City Hall. There's poor morale has led to a depletion of APD's ranks and a surge in violent crime. Until crime is under control in this great city, Albany is not coming back. Just last night, around the corner from here, another B, help me out with that. Just around the corner from here, on Livingston Terminal, there was another man shot just last night. Shot in the torso. He was taken to the hospital. I haven't heard any further word on that. But again, it's happening in the West Hill. No one's denouncing this public. No one is. I stand here to defend the West Hill, where we've been for 78 years. And it truly makes me sad. This was a great neighborhood, and I'd love to empower the neighborhood and the community at large to make a stronger Albany. That said, in closing, I can assure you as mayor, I will not rest until Albany is the city of my childhood, when kids could play the streets without risk of being shot, and where parents didn't have to wonder if their child would make it home that night. To learn more about my agenda, to make Albany the safest, healthiest, cleanest, and smartest small city in America, you can visit my website, gregformayor2021.com, or simply give me a call. I am and will always be accessible to the residents of this city and the media. I appreciate you coming today for your time, and if you could give me 10 more minutes, I'd like to invite you all to take a quick tour of my neighborhood to show you the forgotten parts of Albany that Kathy Sheehan hasn't gotten to know during her 7.5 years as mayor. I will definitely field questions, but I definitely want to, if you do have time, I'd like to take you around for a field trip so you can see some of the blight and bullet holes that we have to see every day on this block and when we go to work. So I thank you all for your time, and I will take questions either now or you can pull me aside. So thank you very much.